Nosferatu is a wonderful movie. Robert Eggers hit it out of the park yet again, and this time it seems like the box office is finally starting to catch on. But it's not what I'm here to talk about. Video essays about cinematography and directing and themes and all that good stuff are abundant. And I am not original enough to tell you something about any of those things that would make some kind of wildly unique unicorn of a YouTube video. Plus, Robert Eggers himself is big on doing interviews and podcasts, and just on Nosferatu alone, there's a wide range of from the director's mouth clips out there. What I can tell you, though, is what Nosferatu means to me, and what it should mean to anyone watching it who calls himself an artist. I've never really been one that's good at finishing many of my projects. I've since privated almost all of my old YouTube videos, but if you were to watch those, most of them are filled with, and in the next episode, or I'm working on XYZ video essay, or in this series I have planned, with no follow-up on any of those things. Whenever I was just starting off as a writer, back in the way old times of me being aged 4 to 10, I would, in my head, plan out a story that I wanted to write. But then, before ever getting to put pen to paper, I would staple together 30 pages or so into a nice-looking book and slap a fat title on the front. Proceed to write 3 to 5 sentences, then never pick it up again. I actually had a drawer full of these mostly empty books, and it was sort of a running joke in my family about all of them. I've since gotten better at actually finishing my work, but once I do, I don't really know what to do with it. So now my drawer is full of mostly finished projects. All of that is to say, there was a fire through all of that kept me making more and wanting to make more, even if that more was never really finished. We all have that, I think, us of the creating breed, whatever it may be, something that grabs a hold of us, usually as a child, and it inspires us forever. For Eggers, that was Nosferatu. The film cemented his love for the dark and the weird, and his time directing it in high school cemented directing as the career that he wanted to pursue. As a slight digression, I was introduced to Eggers my senior year of high school, which actually is not all that long ago, by my theater director. I was her assistant director for 12th Night, and she was a big fan of his. I had heard about The Lighthouse, but I had never seen it. But when I found out he actually had 3 movies out at the time, I knew I had to dive in. And so my obsession began. I felt like I got this guy, something that I don't often feel with directors. He seemed like my kind of director. His movies felt like they were meant for people like me. His obsession with historical accuracy, I got that. His interest in darkness and the occult, I got that. His way of working with actors, I got that. And I loved it all. Now, he wasn't the first director I clicked with. In 5th grade, I know it's the best time to be watching this, I clicked the same way with Kubrick, with The Shining. And then as a teenager, 16, 17, around that kind of age, Bergman, with The Seventh Seal, did the same thing for me. These directors were, in a way, helping to form my creative voice in a way that I didn't understand then, and have only kind of started to come to forms with now. Like James Joyce says in Portrait of an Artist as a Young Man, I was sort of just repeating the words over and over again that I heard them saying until I learned them by heart, and that was revealing my voice to me slowly. All of my work builds up to the next thing I make, and then the next thing is built from all of that work, including the last thing. And it all comes from those first seeds I had planted in my mind, finding Kubrick and Bergman and Spielberg and Scott and all those greats. And for Eggers, as I said, that for him was Nosferatu. Seeing that movie as a child, I think, revealed to him that the things he loved could be done. that someone else out there thought the same way that he did. And as a movie that was in the works for around a decade before finally getting released this year, it has been something that he would have been thinking about while he was working on his other films. In a way, the story of Nosferatu, that was already an adaptation of the earlier Dracula by Stoker, was speaking through all of Egger's work and has only now finally gotten to speak for itself. All of that is to say, if you're a creator, don't be afraid to shelf something. Don't be afraid to make something you've always wanted to make. Your voice will make whatever that is sing a whole new song. And beyond all of the wonderful visuals and acting and scoring and atmosphere and camera work that makes Nosferatu so good, think of it as an ultimate passion project that finally could be made. See it as the influence in your own life that has been helping you all along through all your projects. Signing out.